everyone, and welcome to Spiritual Journey TV with our host. I'll go first this time. Knights Templar, and you,
Mary Silvernail,
and this young lady.
I am Alena Sharma. Alena is fine.
Okay, and this young man,
Roland BuddhaHawk.
Okay,
There we go.
all right. Tonight's show, we're going to be talking about different modalities of healing. We are all healers up here, and we have different ways of doing things, and some are very much alike. But first, we'll start off. Alena, tell us something about your episodes with doing this kind of work. Do you find it more through your artwork, or do you find it more through the hypnosis?
I'm not really sure. I think it's kind of like in all different ways. It's expresses in different ways. Yeah, through art and the energy healing work that I do, and QHHT that I provide, and therapeutic art with others.
Okay.
So yeah, and sometimes it's just just talking, right, and being with others.
Sometimes
Right.
being the healer and being around people don't even realize
That's
they're
right.
being
Yes,
healed.
exactly.
So that's very true.
I didn't realize you do therapeutic art with others. That's wonderful. I love that. That's right. That's something I didn't know about you.
And so the next time you come back, bring crayons. I want to get some therapy. And Roland,
Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to tell you.
Yeah.
it would be nice. You know, this show is about this.
Well, I do energy healing, and I keep it basic because I don't think it needs to be so complicated. It's something that's supposed to be simple. This is something I've done all my life. And yes, I've taken Reiki, I've taken other modalities, but the way that I visualize it, the way I've seen it, I've just explored that and let that expand, and it's been amazing. It's been beautiful.
Well, in the kitchen earlier, I had pulled my wrist badly, and Roland did his work on it, and I immediately felt the energy moving around it. You want to describe what you did there?
So we were just helping to move some energy around. You couldn't talk because you only had one hand. But we were just helping it. What I kept looking at was how the energy, because you saw me looking,
Yeah.
I was trying to pay attention to where it was. It's almost like it goes gray in my perception,
It
right?
stagnates right in the corner
Right.
there.
So we were just trying to kind of bypass it to help you have better feel in the hand,
Yeah.
and then trying to work through to like help to revitalize or to fix
The area.
those areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we were focused on trying to do.
I tell you, the simplest little things of
Yeah.
my grandkids that they come over to me and pull my wrist back, and I'm dying for days. So that's how it's been. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it was interesting what you just said, Roland, about the fact that it looked gray. Because I notice I look at I can't help it. As soon as they walk in my office, I look at their aura, and it's just because you see it, you feel it. And those little gray spots are really where the positive energy is missing. The healing, and that's what you focus on. So that's interesting what you just said. See, that
I
you see
find
the
with
gray.
that, yeah,
That's interesting.
I find with that is to move the energy around, because a lot of times you'll get blockages, where, for lack of a better word, chi, they call it chi, the energy. They call it power of God, all the Holy Spirit. Anyway, sometimes I can tell when the energy is blocked. And I do this with a lot of people who seem to have lymphatic issues, and I teach them how to use a cupping hand motion, right, and to actually use the cupping to do like tapping to get the energy flowed, all right, because a lot of times when you get the pains in the chest or some sicknesses and things like that, it's because the energy stagnates near the breast. And, as you get older, it could get primarily worse because you're not as active. And that's how I move it along when I'm doing that. Most of the time I'm just doing like either a hands-on, which I haven't done in a while, and I have somebody who wants that done. And I have, I just send it. I just send it. I see the person, I see the area, I send it to it, and then I just send the angels and send under Archangel Raphael, and I send the angels of that specific ailment
Exactly.
to the people. And they go there, especially if they're going to have any kind of surgery.
Mhm.
It's, you know, I did that with Christine,
Of course.
you know, so.
Of course.
So, like for me, how I perceive, so since I was young, and I forgot about it up until 2004, where I had a re-remembrance, that's a story for another day, but I always see a big ball of light. It's always been there.
Yeah.
So, ask the big ball of light to help me, to help the person space the animal. The ball of light moves over me, the energy flows through.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I have to be a little boy that asks,
Yeah.
that little boy's got to be pure innocence, unconditional love. If I try to be me now, it will not move.
Yeah.
If I try to merge us, it will
No,
not
I'm
move.
hearing, I'm hearing right now, you have to come to God with the innocence of a child.
Yes.
Yes.
And the funny thing about it is, like, as you're saying that, a lot of times when people ask me to send healing energy because they're sick or something like that, what I will do is I'll put my hands like this and I'll make a sphere, you know,
Mhm.
and I'll shape it and stuff like that, and I'll send it right through them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's an energy ball that's coming with healing.
Yeah.
And it reaches them and they get better.
I just think it usually gets momentum where it gets there. So sometimes it's actually more.
Powerful.
They
yeah.
get more of it
Yeah.
over there than
Yeah.
if it's to be in person.
Have you ever done that?
Absolutely. I just did
I
that.
I just asked.
The night before last for one of my clients. I do Holy Fire, Karuna distant healing. And what it is that you're, well, different practitioners do it different ways, but I envision the person. And when I do, I'm connecting with their spirit. I just automatically do that, and I can see wherever it needs to move, and then you send it. Yeah, that's a technique actually that's taught in actually in level 2 of the Holy Fire Reiki, how to send the energy. And but I mean, I also do that with my shamanism. You know, you can pretend that someone is laying there on the on your massage table,
Yeah.
okay, and envision them, and then you just do whatever you need to do. Sometimes I do rattling and drumming and everything else, and there's really, well, yes, there is. They're there in spirit, you know, and it works. So, yeah, it's more powerful, actually. It's more
Because it has
powerful.
momentum before when it gets.
You're right, the momentum.
And you know, one of the things that when early on in learning that they had us get stuffed animals
Yeah.
as a representation.
Yeah.
So this
Use
way
a teddy bear.
able to have a visualization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, to add to that, it's interesting when you do it working with distance, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of like doing similar to you, kind of like imagining the person. It's almost like how you do it in person.
Yes.
But it's interesting that, like, when you do that, you can kind of like, okay, let's say if I want to touch their head and their feet, you don't have to do this, right? You kind of like imagine them small, right? And
You
it's
can shrink
interesting.
them.
You can turn
shrink
them
them, you can turn
around,
them
exactly,
The
right?
3D.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
the energy.
And
It's the
then they
energy
call
you're
you up 3 days later.
manipulating.
I'm 3'5" and I haven't been able to get home.
No, I don't imagine that, but it's interesting. You kind of like, even though your hands are here, but it's kind of like
Well, I
kind of
just-
like zooming in and zooming out.
Like
you
I
could
said, I
say.
was just aimed
Yeah.
on. The minute I do this, I feel it bounce right back and forth. So I'm doing it now and I feel it right here.
Yeah, it's all energy. You're manipulating energy, really.
It's either that or I got a never battery next to me. He's just jumping cable with me. He did my wrist.
Maybe.
He
But
did
you
my
also
wrist.
do the QH.
QHHT,
yeah.
yes, quantum healing hypnosis technique. But
right.
it's different. It is healing, but it's a completely different way of doing it.
Well, it's with hypnosis.
It's not just a hypnosis per se. It's like a whole procedure. It's just
Right.
bringing people into the very relaxed state. And it's not so much that I do something. It's the whole point is connecting to their greater self or higher self or super soul.
You're connecting them.
Yes. So
Okay.
through some exercises, you can say, and that part, that higher self, I usually call it higher self. That higher self brings them to experience some kind of life. It could be past life, it could be parallel life,
Could
or
be
whatever,
parallel- could
right?
be
But it's
parallel universe.
exactly. But it's always something that connects to what they're going through right now. So through that, they get healing. Sometimes it could be some trauma that's stuck or brought from the other lifetimes, and sometimes it could be just for them to understand through experiencing that other life to understand what's happening to them, and that's not the way of dealing the way they are right now. And then it performs the healing itself. So it's kind of like a
does.
different form of healing.
What I explain to my clients is that all I'm doing is guiding them so that they can connect with their higher self. And that's really what you're saying. And that makes it very simple for them to understand that then. And really, you have nothing to do with it. It's between them and their higher self.
That's because they are finally doing something where their perception prior to this was that of maybe 3D. And all of a sudden they're having some kind of experience
Good point, Tom.
which raises their vibration, which puts them on a plane of going ascending wise to learn something other that there's another way, there's other ways,
That's right.
okay? And you enlighten them. And then when they get their feeling of being enlightened, they proceed to actually grow. And I mean, how many times have people come back to you and you've seen them leaps and bounds from where they were?
Yeah.
We kind of, I think as healers, we provide a space for them to maybe even to move their own energy, even though they're probably not aware of it. So I think we kind of like facilitators in a way.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yes,
Yeah,
Absolutely
I would agree with
right.
that. In fact, I would throw one on top of it, that when we get into our healing state, we're tapping into the healthy frequency that they need to match us at.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's just like they're still doing the work too. I mean, we're holding the space, but that's a lot. But it's allowing them to kind of release things, because you hear a lot of healers, I.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
No,
There's no humbleness, there's no humility in
Like
that.
I
Go
did
of
that
your
for
ego.
you, you know, like
Let it go.
I've seen it, I've heard it, and that's
Yeah,
just,
listen, there's no I in team.
yeah.
Nope.
And,
Yeah,
but
alright.
that's a big understanding, and that's a whole different concept than what we're talking about right now.
That's right.
But, if you allow it to flow, if you allow to open up and just be there for, you're holding the energy, we're moving things, but ultimately it's kind of they're allowing themselves to do it. That's how a lot of times I see how that kind
Well,
of.
you're getting them to participate. Once they participate in their own healing.
Yeah, but they're sleeping.
What, when we
But I
do,
get it.
when we do
On a
hypnosis,
conscious level.
Yeah.
when we do hypnosis,
You're talking.
okay, we get them. I know, we get them to. I like to call it the Jello state, when they're so loose and so relaxed. Okay, lift your arm. It doesn't go. That kind of thing. When they're in that state, and they're starting to see things, hear things, like you had the experience at your what did you do last weekend? You did a class.
We did the connect
Tell 'em
with,
about that.
Yeah.
Tell them about that. That was
In
really
order
interesting.
to connect with your guardian angel, it's a, let's see, what do we do? 4-hour class, a workshop. And oh my goodness, the participants really, really enjoyed it, because we don't just do one thing.
No.
We do several different things. Any of my workshops, are like that.
But she
But
called
she
me.
had-
You're never
yeah.
gonna believe this. You're never gonna believe this.
Metatron.
Yeah, Metatron.
yeah.
Metatron.
Well, he came
What-
through as.
Well, yeah. What happened was there was one girl, she's sitting in the corner, and because I brought them to meet either their angel or a higher spirit level or being or spirit god, whatever it was going to be. And what ended up happening was the one girl, she's in the corner, and afterwards, when I asked everybody what they experienced or if they want to share, she said, I met someone, but I'm not exactly sure who this is. He said his name is Enoch. Now, she did not know about Enoch.
No.
Okay? Enoch walked on this earth, and then the Lord brought him up to become his scribe and named him Metatron. Made him into an archangel.
He took him.
So,
he
but
took him
what
up.
happened was, then the other girls that are, we're going around the room, the other two that are right on each side of her we're experiencing this bright red light. Well, Metatron comes on a beautiful, bright red, amazing light, but they kept saying, you can't even describe this color red. He had spilled over.
Look how much Metatron.
Look
really,
at that.
As far as
Right.
for you
I'm
and
sorry.
for me.
That was amazing.
But he plays a big part with us because I'm coming out to see Mary one day. I forgot what it was. Me and Brian were coming out to do a show, and right in the cloud, we're talking. Boom! There's Metatron in the clouds, and he was huge, huge. We talk about him somehow. He shows.
He appears.
He shows.
And what happened was I was talking. First, I was explaining to them about, not about every single angel and everything, about, different levels of spirit. And I had mentioned Michael, Archangel Michael, and I mentioned Metatron. They're both so powerful. But the one girl that experienced that, she didn't even know who Enoch was. I mean, come on. I mean, there were other women in the room, too, that didn't experience that exact thing.
A lot of people don't know Enoch because the book of Enoch was removed from the Bible, along with about, I think there's like 60-something books in the Bible, and it's like 80-something books that should be in there. Enoch, Thomas, Judas Iscariot, Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene.
What they
how
did,
about?
what the Catholic Church did to her is criminal. They portray her as a prostitute. She was none of that.
One of the
Okay.
participants, though, experienced
Mary Magdalene?
being given a ball of light. And that's what that reminded me of when you were talking about it. It reminded me about what she was just, elated by that.
Probably the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, Holy Spirit of God. But
The thing that I was saying to you before, as far as Enoch was concerned, Enoch has to do with the fallen angels. All right? And God was extremely angry with them for fornicating with earth women. All right? They made a group of giants called Nephilim. And that's when the big flood came and the whole story there. But Enoch is, I think it's his grandfather. Is Noah's grandfather. And Noah
That's right.
is just a name given to him by the Catholic Church. His name is Zidra. Okay, that's his real name, Zidra. Noah came later. Just like Jesus, the J didn't appear in the Jewish alphabet at that time. His name was Yeshua. Okay, so let's,
if you
go, yeah.
if you guys have never read or seen the book of Enoch, you need to, right?
Absolutely.
Because amazing pictures in there. It's just so cool. It's like
A lot of times I listen to Enoch, and I listen to it in meditation. I also listen to Saint Germain all the time.
Yeah.
Saint
That's
Germain.
my guy.
you
That's
like
my guy.
Saint Germain.
Oh,
Good for you.
That's my guy.
Big fan.
You know,
Yeah.
Big fan. Lots
We
of
love
purple.
him.
he comes on the violet flame. So
Purple.
and always good. If you listen to anything, Saint Germain, the Golden Age, or all of these different things, they're actually on YouTube. And if you have the time to sit during the day, listen to it, fine. If not, at nighttime, you pop an earbud in and put it on YouTube and just listen to it. And what he has to say and how he could teach you about things and how to handle your life on this go-around. This is not your first go-around. It won't be your last. But at least you'll have a chance to understand why the things that happen can be turned around and transmuted. And that's what he is. He's a great spirit of transmutation. All right, and so is Archangel Zadkiel, who also rides on that violet ray,
Yes, he does.
the great alchemist.
You know what? I wanted to ask you, when you do your types of healing and you allow your client to connect with the higher levels like that and their higher self, do any of them ever go to like another planet or anything like that?
So during QHHT, yes.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
different sessions where people not just seeing themselves as humans on Earth, but somewhere else.
Yeah.
And sometimes not even in the human form. I also wanted to tell you something about, and you touched up on this. When you, yes, there are different types of healing modalities and even the energy healing, right? A lot of times, yes, like Roland is doing, it's like people usually they just sleeping, they're in a different land.
Yeah.
But there is, but there is a different way of doing it. Not necessarily doing it, but it's just a different type of healing modality where you consciously involve the client, the person, so you can have a conversation because sometimes they see it if they're aware and if they're up for it. Sometimes they do that. So sometimes they even, like when you go through the body, you holding your hands, the energy is flowing, and they see the pictures. Not just only you as a healer see the pictures. They sometimes see the pictures, and if you talk to them, it could even work as a story, and that healing could be even done through the story that they see, through the visions that they see, and it could be even a different way of doing it, like as asking them like how you feel, and that brings another healing through a different way of talking to them. So it's like
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
different ways
I've had
of
those
dealing with
that
it.
they want to talk through the whole thing.
Right, yeah.
And it's out of, by this point, I'm a little bit more used to it, but some people, like you said, are experiencing everything. Oh my God, I feel this, or I feel that. Other people just want to have conversation while I'm doing my thing.
Oh, even that.
Yeah. So, I mean, but it's like, to me, it's like, if you can just relax and just kind of, I think that you're, in my mind, you would be, you would feel a little better, but that
More
might not be
relaxed.
true.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times sometimes when people talk, they start talking about emotional things.
That's right.
As it comes up, I'm just like, oh, let's just grab all
Yeah,
that,
that
let's get
too.
rid of that. But, I mean, it's it's interesting to how people operate when they're, lying down and open
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Sometimes they feel like they can't move for me. Sometimes they feel like they're floating. Sometimes they just go to sleep.
Yeah. It's
Sometimes they're visuals. They're all over the universe. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's their
Yeah.
perception. It's
Yeah,
their
yeah.
perception of what you're doing. A lot of people react to the energy differently. You could get somebody who you're doing a session on them and you're healing them, and all of a sudden, to what I have read about, as of late, it hasn't happened to me, but they have the ability to speak another language
Yeah.
out of the clear blue sky. You know what I mean? And you say, well, and when you bring them to the points, like say they come to you and they're having some kind of, let's just use a marital problem, and you're bringing them back. When you're doing your thing and you're talking to them, you're putting them under, if they come across that point in their life where that triggered why, it just eradicates it.
Absolutely. You have to get to the origin.
You have to get to the origin. You have to get to
That's
the
how
bottom of
you
the barrel.
heal.
You know?
No matter where it is, no matter what lifetime, no matter what dimension, you get to that origin. See, when I do a healing session, no matter what modality I use, I'm not talking about hypnotherapy, but what I'm talking about is either the Holy Fire Reiki, Native American healing, the any kind of shamanism, anything I do, even the reconnection, I do not talk to the client, and I do not allow that to occur because I need them to be in that state of receiving. Now, beforehand, yes, I interview them. Afterwards, yes, I ask them what did they experience, and then if there's something positive, I tell them what I've experienced, which happens a lot, right, guys? Happens a lot. Yeah, you see a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's just a different way of
it's all-
doing it as
All
a
getting
healer
to the same
yourself.
place.
As yes,
I know,
and-
but like what you were saying, Roland, that if you're having a whole conversation with them, they're not in that mode.
They might not be, but again, it's, whatever the conversation is, at some point, something emotional gets stirred.
It does come up.
So as conversation's happening for me, if somebody's gonna be in that way, I'm literally gonna use it to my benefit to try to help
And
remove,
send it out.
get that out of here.
Yeah.
Like this emotion, it's like a bubble coming out as they're talking about something, cause they're getting emotion. I'm just watching it like, oh, okay, and I'm like,
It's like clearing out.
did we get that? So, if we're allowing, I personally would like somebody just to lie there so they can have their own experience, so
Yes.
can go where they need to go in their heads, or, you know, like, just let things go for themselves, and then this way their whole body's like really relaxed, and, you know, that energy flows nice, and, you know, we get there. But when you have somebody that's talking, and I don't want to even say
No,
like when
no.
you have a talker.
Well, you can't tell
I don't
them
want to say it that way.
You can't tell them.
But if somebody's
Yeah.
if somebody's talking a lot, and, you know, I'm saying it's okay, because there isn't any wrong way to do it.
No,
As
of
long
course
as your
not.
intention is pure, as long as your intention
All
is
that
to try
counts
to
is the
help,
intention.
Right.
you know, they can have a full-blown conversation, which they have, and that's
I
okay.
don't,
I'm not a
do
fan, I'm
that.
saying, but I'll go with it, you know?
I have
When
found that
when you
not
were
to
talking
work
before
well.
about other planets and other
Yeah.
Mhm.
things, sometimes I get people say to me, goes, well, you know, there's no life on any other planet but here. And I said,
Yeah.
no, you'd be wrong there. I said, there are Venusians, there are Martians, there are Saturnians, there are every single planet in this galaxy. There's life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, the only thing is interdimensional life.
Even on this earth, right?
Even on
Even
this
on
earth,
this
there's even
planet,
more than one
even
dimension.
even if we don't see it, it's
Yeah,
there.
there's plenty.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I was watching this lady,
For
and
sure, right?
she has, she channels, they don't like to be called Bigfoot or Sasquatch,
Mm-hmm.
right? But she channels them.
Mm-hmm.
And they told them that they don't like to, because there's, in our group, there are those that are hostile to humans. But many years ago with the Native Americans, they shared the food, they shared everything together. They were just a different species.
Right.
And
Right.
it was respect to
Yeah,
nature
it was
and
a mutual
everything.
thing. So that's why it's a sacred being to the Native Americans.
Mhm.
Okay,
right.
and regular Americans should understand it is a sacred being.
Mm-hmm. Not a
Yeah.
You know,
monster.
they want to
Not a
shoot it, and
monster.
they want to
They
stuff
wa-
it,
They,
and
well,
let
they,
it sit in
they
their
want to
living
they
room.
want to villainize it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they're
Listen,
afraid of it and they don't understand it.
you know,
People
what-
fear what they don't understand.
I know, but you don't have to kill it.
No. Thank
know?
you.
So that's what I'm saying. And even if it was captured, the study of it and everything else, when they had an ET that was captured one time that I had read about, and I mean, he was interrogated so much, you know. I wouldn't want to pull the plug, you know, because they just like don't leave you alone, and they're relentless trying to find out all this stuff because they want to have all this information and all this technology so they can have one up on their
Mm-hmm.
enemies, you might say. You know?
But-
the greatest enemy is the enemy within.
But I was going to say, like, spin it to a positive. Yes, it's happening, unfortunately, but at the same time, I think we as humanity are really expanding. Our
Mhm.
consciousness is expanding. We're changing. We're looking at different things differently. More and more people understand, okay, we are more than just this physical body. There is so much beyond it. And it's not just in the religion's point of view, but in general. So there's more to life that what we see. And I think even in QTHT, if I may, before when Dolores Cannon started this decades ago, people during the session, during
60s.
hypnosis part, they were out, completely out. They were talking, they having a conversation, they lived that life, but they could not remember anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So at the end of the session, the recording was given to them.
That
But now
happens.
what's
Right.
happening? People, we are following, like practitioners, QTHT practitioners are doing the same thing. However, most people, I think I would say now 99%, they are aware during the session.
She was talking
And-
about, I was listening to this yesterday, and she was saying that, you know, we've had many different lifetimes here, and we've been elementals, we have been humans, we have been animals, we have been this, that, and she was saying that, you know, you could return as an elemental. You could return to a different planet and, you know, somewhere else, like in the Palladians or something like that. You could return anywhere. Because all this is what the spirit is housed in.
That's it.
This is what they call the envelope. This is the envelope that you came in, your essence is in here. After a certain amount of time, when this skin suit is no good anymore, then you move on to another. You know, it's just like that. I said, but like I said, you could be a tree, you could be this, you could be that. Because how can it be that? Because you have a soul. Yeah. And she was saying, and then how Edgar Casey was saying that they were asking about animals under his sleeping prophet, under his trance, and he said that they belong to a soul group. All right, so it's they actually have a soul, but it's shared by a group of animals. All right, so it's a different level, and I found that very interesting. Edgar Casey, if you have a chance to listen to anything he has to say, or about his healings and remedies for things, there has been evidence that everything he said was right on the mark.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's being proven even today. Even like Lemuria and Atlantis, okay, that he's spot on those things.
And a lot of his cures, his holistic
cures,
I have his black book. You know, you can buy that.
Yeah.
And it's all these holistic remedies. They really work. Natural, holistic remedies.
If it came out of the Akashic record, you could rely on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's my next workshop.
So
That's your who?
That's my next workshop.
Really, the Akashic?
can
No,
we
it is.
can we move?
January.
I'm just curious. There's something that popped into my head. I know we're kind of talking.
Is that a little feather that just went
That's
by?
what it is.
Is
right
it a
there.
feather?
I can't see. Is it? I'm just-
Right there.
Yeah, we saw
look at
it,
that.
right
It's a fuzzy.
It's a fuzz.
Oh,
Fuzzy
I thought it was
feather.
a little feather. I thought the angels
It
were.
is. Well, it was. There's something that touched me on my arm before. I thought it was you being
Could
loving
have
Yeah.
been. Hey,
like
but-
this. Yeah.
So what
idea.
were you going to say?
So my thought is like, and I know it's kind of off where we were going, but how do you deal with a client they come to you but they're resistant? Like that's a question for everybody, but I'm just because it just popped into my head, so I'm just curious. Like,
I think in general, if people usually come to you, they already kind of open.
one would think.
Yeah. I think I usually start with breathing and kind of like, and it's another thing. It's like sometimes they have, like if we having a session where you can talk, right? They would come maybe with one particular problem. But when they come and then we start talking and it might change completely.
Yes.
But I think to answer your question, it's more like bring it to the heart, I guess, just make them to relax. I think that kind of helps. And maybe just telling them that's like, it's nothing to be afraid of.
So
it's bad
before-
when they come with a preconceived notion.
Yeah, they have an idea.
That's.
But in what you do, even with energy healing, do you have them go through a whole breathing thing to get them kind of in the mood or in the zone?
in the mood.
I try to
See
do it
the
even for QHT. I think just breathing, deep breathing, I think it's such a relaxing like exercise that relaxes you.
Yeah.
I try to do it and
It's also been
try
known
to do
to
different
adjust
modalities.
the body.
Yes, exactly. That's what it does.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, and there's a lot of information you can find on proper breathing exercises. You get a lot of those. What's it called? Not the Buddha guys. What are they called?
Yogas? Yogis?
Not yoga. No.
Yogis?
Like a Yogananda.
Yeah.
You know, like that. That will teach
Go
you
into
how
the
to
deep
breathe.
levels of
The deep,
meditation.
yes,
But they do some heavy breathing.
you know, they're
Yeah.
breathing there. Not only that, but you release a lot of stuff. You get rid of a lot of maladies by doing that.
Yeah, but that breathing that they're doing is so intense. Like you need somebody watching over you when you're doing that kind of. And I'm not even talking the yoga stuff. I'm talking about, like I have people. I
Right.
know people that go to these Joe Dispenza seminars
Yeah,
all
yeah.
weekend. They're doing hardcore breathing. That's like clearing their body of illness.
Well, that's what it does.
And all kinds of scientific stuff he's putting out. I mean, like, it's crazy. I'm hearing what they talk about and how they breathe, and like, I'm just amazed that I don't know how I would even begin to try to ask somebody to breathe like that. Like, I don't understand it. I don't know. But that's not my thing. I'm lucky I'm breathing now.
The breathing that you would do for this kind of thing, right, is that before I became a hypnotist, I used to do guided meditations with people and relax them through breathing, because I have known about that, and being next to Mary all the time, it always tells me all these things. So I kind of like put it all together, and then finally, did the hypnotism stuff. The thing that I see with that is that when you get the person calm and relaxed, then they're more open to not only to discuss the things that are troubling them, but it helps them to release, and there's sometimes underlining things that got them to this point, and this is really not the problem. The problem's back here.
Usually.
And it just kept on growing and growing and growing and growing until it got to this point where it became insufferable, and they had to do something about it.
Yeah.
All right? If you get one that's resistant, then you have to find a way to, I mean, there's several different methods, Mary could tell you, and so could Alena, to find out the type of personality that person is, and then use that method to bring them under hypnosis, and then get to the root of the problem.
I want to say that maybe part of what I'm thinking about is the person that's like, I am anxiety, I am depression. They wear it as a plaque.
They wear it as a badge of honor.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
that's,
Oh my God.
and so I could see how, though, doing that kind of breath work or any
Yeah.
type of, is diffusing, or even putting them through a little meditation would kind of like, they'll have to remind themselves, wait, I'm supposed to be depressed, or wait, I'm supposed to be this.
I remember my mother would have, my mother would have her girlfriends over the house, and they're having coffee and a little cake, and this one says, "Oh, my shoulder, it's a no good," right? She goes, "Oh, my shoulder's no good, and my other one too. Oh, my shoulder, my knee." But before they wore it as a badge of honor,
Yeah, that's
you know. And
Who's in
when
more pain?
not only that, when you are claiming these things,
Yeah.
oh, I have this, I have that, my neck, my back, and this, that, the other.
That's what
you
you
know,
got then.
you're claiming it, and when you claim it, you own it.
You know, that happens a lot in bars. You think your life is bad. Let me tell you about
Yeah,
mine.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Back
my
and forth, and let's
goodness.
drink to it. Yeah,
That's the truth, right?
Celebrate the pain.
Celebrate the pain, and we're soldiers, and we're tough, and we're this.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in this negative pool
No, you
swimming
don't.
around.
You
know,
don't.
but
I tell the people,
It's
a lot of
easier
times I
said
hear,
than
I hear
done.
people say things like stupid phrases like, if I didn't have bad luck, I have no luck.
yeah,
Well, keep on
Murphy's
saying
law,
that. you
Murphy's
know.
law, and then you throw in the
How
whole
about
thing.
this one here? I know
Mercury
you've heard
retrograde.
it. I know
They
you
use
definitely
it.
heard it. You heard it, right?
I was going to say,
Right.
like something like Mercury retrograde, they'll use it as an excuse.
Don't say that word.
Of why things
Don't
bad are
eat-
happening. What's that?
I'm gonna hurt
What's
him.
that this guy saying?
He said that bad word.
I know, but why are you giving it that kind of power? Why are
Thank
you?
I don't
You.
give it any power. I don't recognize
Yeah,
it.
It's
I don't
just-
recognize. How many times?
You won't speak it.
No, who
but
says- who says it?
He said a bad
You
word.
just said it yesterday.
I don't. You had to
gonna-
force it
I'm
out
But
of
you
me.
didn't say
I'm
the
next to his
word.
good hand, so I'm going to behave.
Yeah, let me tell you, man.
I'll say that thing. You
That
know, it's
thing.
that thing.
He gets really upset about that.
it's not that easy. I mean, I do it sometimes too. Like saying something in
'cause you're
negative
human.
way.
But
It's
it's
like
an awareness, allowing yourself to have the
Yeah.
awareness, and that's where I think that you can stop that cycle, because
Yeah.
you know it's again easier said than done for
Yeah.
anybody. And I think that's another thing to bring up: how healers, we're real people.
Yeah.
We get angry. We know we're cursing at people driving. Like we all do it. So let's stop.
Not me.
You
Not you,
never
you're an
do
idiot.
that.
I never
right?
do that. Not me.
That's right. We all know.
You know,
but-
listen, God sometimes likes to toy with me. He knows the minute I get behind the wheel that if my car was loaded, mounted with a 50 caliber machine gun, there'd be dead people everywhere. All right, he knows that.
That's why
The
I'm not
minute
allowed
I
to
get
throw-
there, I get this crazy guy comes up on the side of me. He's trying to pass me, and all of a sudden gets in front of me, goes 30 miles an hour.
They like to do that.
And I go, really? And then he makes a right turn. He goes away.
Oh, see.
So he's just
They
calling my attention that
testing your patience too.
I got you. You know? And he gets me all the time with that. My fuse is very short. And she knows when we go to the podcast,
I
right?
know.
She says, "How do you drive in this every
Hold
single
on.
day?"
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's gotten a lot worse.
So I was talking to a friend of mine who gets like, she gets really worked up and PTSD when she's driving, and for
Oh, she does? While
whatever
she's
her,
driving?
she has other reasons, but it triggers that. And so
Oh.
I'm talking to her on the phone today, and she's like, I'm stopped in traffic for like 10 minutes now. I can't move. I can't see anything. It's 0 miles an hour. And she's getting herself worked up. I could feel the tension in her body start to rise. And I'm like, I don't understand. Help me understand why you're getting upset over something you have absolutely no control over.
That's right.
I'm not saying to ignore it, because if I was in that position, I'm sure I'd be starting to get a little antsy myself. But so what can you do about it, right? So I'm like, well, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about where you want to live, because you need to find a place. Let's talk about if you're getting a job, what kind of job? What does it feel like? You know, like
Shifting the focus.
let's preoccupy ourselves. Let's not sit in something that you have no control over and worry about that. Let's just shift that focus to something else so you could sit there and feel good about that you're sitting in traffic. Nobody likes to sit in traffic.
No,
Nobody likes aggressive people that cut you off.
Oh, I had to see that this morning, but I don't even want to get into that one.
Well, we don't want to
Well,
talk.
what I do when I'm stuck in things like that, and if I'm close for time, all right. A guy who came on the show a few times here. He goes by Joshua, all right, and he's a hypnotist too. But he said to me one day, he goes, "All I say is I move fast and time moves slow," and I just say it like a mantra, and I just keep on saying it, and before you know it, cars get out of my way. I'm zipping around this way. And I get there at the time I'm supposed to be there. You know, and it's like traffic is like bumper to bumper, but I still manage to get there.
Mhm.
It happened this morning. I was trying to go down to one of my places down where the boats are. It's a boat yard, and I was doing that, and I got there like from Staten Island there an hour,
Oh.
which was good with traffic no less.
I just asked the angels to carry me, and they do.
They carry you,
really
but they said you got to leave the car.
Woo.
You know,
They do. Please get me there on time. Yeah, they do.
you haven't been late. You make it.
I always make believe I have a time machine when I'm driving. And I'm like, let's slow down time over there so I could speed up. So similar to what you said.
I move fast and time moves slow.
That's right, that's right. I'm like Millennium Falcon time. I gotta hit this button and move this so I can start watching all the craziness while I'm driving. It's not real, but in my mind it is. And I
Oh,
put
that's
music on and
interesting,
everything.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I have Star
You know
Wars
what's the funny
music
part?
and I got this.
As maybe the last couple of years, when I get in my truck and I'm driving, I never put the music on.
Really?
I just don't put the music on.
Did you lose the love of music, or it's just what?
No.
reasons?
I don't like. I like it quiet in the truck because
No, it's okay.
you know, having grandchildren and having it all around me and
It's
constant
noisy.
noise and
Yeah.
chaos and everything else that kids can bring to you. When I get in that truck, that is, as people say to me, "Tom, you going on vacation this year?" The minute I walk out my door and I'm in my truck, I'm on vacation because I don't have to listen to that until I get home. You know.
I can appreciate the quiet in my car.
Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, don't get me wrong. Once in a while, like, you know, I have my phone and there's a video, like this morning, a good video was playing with an old group from many, many years ago. They did that song "Friday on My Mind."
Oh, yeah.
The Easy Beats, I think the name was, and it was playing in this video, and I was listening to it. And I said, "Wow, that's great. Your old as dirt," you know. But it was great to hear it again. I haven't heard it in a long time, you know. And it happens a lot. A lot of times, a lot of things will trigger different what you felt. Maybe in 1981, there was a song that came up and reminded you of a certain place or being here or who you were with, or maybe this person's no longer with us, but that song always reminds you of them.
And
You
you're
know?
right there in that moment.
And you're right there, and that's right, exactly in that moment, you know, and being, doing the kind of stuff we do, the feeling, the depth of feeling is even greater.
So what happens in that instance? How do you allow yourself to say, I don't want to continue to have this memory. I want to like this song?
You can,
Because some people, and they're in the car,
like having the
I need you to
memories.
change that song because I'm reliving this moment.
yeah,
And I say to them, well, how about if we can, again, kind of put a different feeling in there? We can make a new association with
That's
this
right.
song.
that's right.
Like, would you be
That's
willing
right.
to do that?
That's what we do, right?
Well, you do it a different
With
way.
the hypnosis.
I'm just smacking somebody with words.
Yeah.
Like, let's
No, but
change
it's the
it.
truth,
Don't.
Because it's the truth.
It reminds
Well,
me of
this is-
so and
this
so.
is what I've told many people who I've helped that they said, I had this horrible dream. So I said, yeah. You know, and in this dream, such and such, and this happened, and I'm worried about, should I call that? I said, absolutely not. I said, go back in the dream and change it to the way you want it. Just
You
go
ever
in your
do
mind,
that?
close your
How do
eyes,
you
get
tell
calm.
people to go back to that dream?
It's very easy. You go back, you just close your
don't
eyes, you
think
get calm,
so.
just like they do the breathing exercises. Go back to that dream to the point where it got ugly, and just change the dynamic. And in this,
program your mind before
and
you go
this
to
never
sleep.
happened. And you can go on from there.
I
That's
like
true.
it.
It works.
Very cool.
Yeah, you
I guess
program
I
your
need
mind.
to get hypnotized.
But I think the dreams that we see, they have different meanings and reasons for them. Some of them could be
Therapeutic.
therapeutic. Some of them could be learning, like we learn from them. Some could be almost like prophetic,
Oh, yeah.
right? Some of them could be just, I guess, being in different plane and navigating from it. And some of them could be just the simple things that you're going through your life and what's happening to you that particular day or day before. And
Yeah, so it could play out, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes
Many
too.
ways.
Usually I go in that direction, unless somebody's having consistent dreams that I feel, that I gotta tell you about this dream. Never said I was a dream interpreter, like I'm first to say that. But people are telling me their dreams, like, oh my God, this happened and that happened. And I'm like, why do you think that you had that? Well, I don't know, that's why I'm calling you. But let's take a moment,
That's right.
because you had the dream.
Yes.
Maybe there's some ingredients that you forgot or something that you didn't pay attention to. Now that you're awake for a while, it might not be as vivid, but if you take a better look, I think that you might be able to find something that might make better sense. That little symbolism could be the meaning of something so big of a subconscious thing.
Wayne
and only
Dyer-
that person, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
only that
and
person will know,
knows.
yes.
Yes.
You can kind of like guide them.
I mean, I could try to tap in the best I can, but
Wayne Dyer used to say, keep a pad and pencil near your bed. If you have a dream and you wake up from it, write it down.
It's
He goes,
important.
and keep on writing it down. And at the end of the week, look at what you've written down. And usually the dreams seem to coincide with one another. There's different, like messages you can perceive from many of them. All right. Also, like, as far as like, for me, being in a dream, sometimes I've had some dreams that have really been prophetic, where I know it wasn't a dream.
Where you're doing astral flight.
Yeah, yes.
Or remote
And-
viewing.
And I know I've been out there battling,
Yeah.
doing things, and I've had Michael protect me a few times. I told you about that one
Yeah.
when I was battling. It was a beautiful home somewhere in the mountains and overlooking beautiful valleys and everything else like that. And a person I know, she was going to this house because she was promised a mink coat. So we went there. And I'm out by the car, leaning against the car, and I'm looking at the garage doors are open. Next thing you know, this big, dark entity comes out, and I pull out my Excalibur, and we wind up in this big brawl, you might say, big fight. And finally, I defeat this thing. She comes walking out of the house, okay, and here I am, I'm over there like that, I'm all disheveled and, cut up and, from fighting with this thing, and it comes back. And now I'm there, she's there, and I said, oh, here we go, another fight. So I get ready to go into battle. All of a sudden, this big hand came down and surrounded both of us and shielded us. And there was this gigantic blast of white light. Couldn't see a thing, all right? But it absolutely purified the valley. That everything, you ever see the forest, like when it's wet with rain and it's all sparkling from the sun showing? It was all like little diamonds all over the place. It was purified, the area. So I knew that I was out there and I was having that experience. That was for me. It was Michael who protected me. He protects me all the time. So these are the times that you have dreams, and a lot of times it's not just a dream, it's the perception of what it really was. It's a life lesson for you sometimes. Sometimes it's the other side telling you, hey, look, pay attention to this or pay attention to that. Stop messing around, get off and do something, that kind of thing. So you want to pay attention to your dreams, because a lot of times your dreams, they segue into your regular life on this plane at this particular time. So you have to be aware of that. Most people have dreams and don't even pay attention to them, And then when things that happen coincide with a dream from who knows when, then they say, oh, that's a coincidence. No, that's not a coincidence. That's a synchronistic event.
I have an interesting question for probably Mary, since you have multiple modalities.
Oh, she's not like us with one. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
stop.
Mary has 14.
14 different modalities.
Yes, she
The
does.
20 different modalities that you do. How, out of your modalities, right? So
Okay.
if you have somebody lying with you, with their, how do you feel like this is the direction we're going to go with this energy, or is it more of like you choose, or do you sometimes mix them? Like, how does that all work for you?
For me?
Yeah, you.
Well, it
You
all
got
comes out
shamanism,
at
you
the
got-
moment.
No,
Oh, yeah, I do.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't just do a Reiki session. I include Native American
But
healing.
all right, so that's my question is it switch? Does it happen all at once at the same time?
Some modes of some modalities you can't mix, such as reconnective healing. It's of a different level than Reiki. Okay, so it's different.
All right, listen, I understand all the things, the different
Oh,
things you're
okay.
doing. I'm asking the question.
What?
As
How do
to-
I know?
so-
I don't mix the two at the same time. And I'm directed, usually by the angels, because that's, even in my mediumship readings, it's the
That's your
angels.
direct guidance.
Yeah.
You
So
guys-
what are you asking me?
The
How do I
reason-
go? Because
No,
sometimes.
the reason why I'm asking is because sometimes I've spoken to people
Yeah.
that they're multi-modalities.
Go ahead.
Words, right? And so I asked them a similar question, and sometimes people say they're guided. Other times they're like, well, we just throw it all together like a stew, and it
No,
just
I don't do
add
that.
it.
No.
And I'm not saying it's
No, that's
irresponsible.
like when you take a pile and throw it against the wall, see
No.
what sticks.
Yeah,
No.
you
People
go.
come to me, they have anxiety, they'll call and they'll ask for a hypnosis appointment, okay? Or they'll ask for a Reiki session, or they'll ask for Native American healing, or whatever, you know? The thing is, though, sometimes I combine the hypnosis and I do that a lot with the shamanism.
Okay.
Oh yeah, especially with the Inca modality. It's
See, I didn't
really,
even
I
know
bring
that.
them on a
Yeah.
beautiful journey. At the same time they're on the journey, it's kind of like they're being hypnotized, and they're going where they need to go, and the story is coming out the way. But yet I'm also doing an energy healing at the same time, so it's all together. But usually a person will call me up and say, oh, I need to stop smoking, or I want a past life regression, or I have a phobia, or whatever, okay? Or, I have really bad pains in my knees and I want to come and, so, or I want to change my life, and lots of times when they want to change their life, that's where the reconnective healing comes in. Completely different type of energy
Yep,
work.
I know.
Yeah, so you gotta, have you ever had the
I
reconnection?
know all about it.
You've had the reconnection?
I know all about it.
Oh,
That's what
wait,
I'm gonna
you
say.
know all about it. Oh, yeah,
Don't mind me,
I
I'm
know what
only in
you're
the middle
saying.
here.
I'm sorry. Oh, we gotta talk.
yeah,
Roland. Yeah.
So Roland, I
All
want
right,
to kind of like
we got 3
I'm
minutes.
sorry.
Oh, wow, look at
We got
this.
3 minutes. We've been rolling here on the river.
I see what you're doing. Wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap it
Didn't we
up.
have another
Yep.
question? She had a question.
Yeah.
2-second question. Go ahead.
no, I just want to kind of like turn the same question to you. I
Yeah.
mean, it seems
Yes.
like you mentioned Reiki, but at the same time, you had this experience with energy from early age. So, how do you
So
do your
if
healing?
if you don't put a label,
Yes.
you don't know what you're doing. You're allowing it to flow. I don't have necessarily a say. It's a we thing, so it's not a Roland thing. I
No.
might have a very small say, but I have a say. And so with that, being conscious is a thing, and that's what I try to stick to. And
Yeah.
we all work together, even if I'm being a brat about it, which a lot of times I am. But that's a story for another day. too.
I agree with you. I think
Mhm.
it's the same thing. It's, I mean, you can take any different modalities of the same energy healing, but I think at the end, people just kind of like using their old guidance and
And
just
they're
follow
really
the
healing
flow, yeah.
themselves.
Mhm.
And that too,
That's the
yes.
truth.
It's a big takeaway right there.
And remember, you always say, Tommy, about how a person has to own that. And, they can't just say, oh, okay, you healed me and now walk away. They have to
Well,
own that.
My thing with anybody who receives a healing, you thank God every single day for the healing that you receive, even if you don't feel good. You thank God for the healing you receive. Your constant
That's right.
gratitude for someone stepping into the position to heal you, okay, is what's going to heal you. You have to drive in the direction of your dream, which is to be well. So why wouldn't you do that? Never go back. Always go forward. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming, everyone. And those out there, we got 2 minutes. Now we're getting this. Okay.
You're in a rush.
Now that we got victory, you can go
What
again.
would you like to say? Yes.
No, I think it's just kind of like continuing on the same subject. That I think it's you're just following. I mean, even if you have as a healer, kind of like a way you're doing it, right? Even if you follow that, sometimes you just get stuck. Like sometimes, like for example, I felt it a lot. Like you get stuck in one particular area. Just this area needs more
love.
More love, yes, you can say it. Well, more energy, more
Aw.
balancing,
Yeah.
right? So the whole point is you, as a healer, you also following your own flow
right.
and your guidance, and how it doesn't matter what label that is.
So, but
And
that's the
yeah.
question, seeing as, this is what the talk is tonight, right? Different modalities and
Yes.
stuff.
Well, that's
And
it.
when you're multi-modalities and, you learn all these things, it's like, what are you putting together? How are you putting it together sometimes? And
What are
so,
the results?
yeah. Well, I love that it's, hypnosis with shamanism. And
Okay.
they might not pay
That's
attention or know it.
Now we
That's-
have this
beautiful.
many.
That's awesome.
Okay, now we will wrap it up. Okay. All right. Everyone, thank you for coming tonight. Those at home, we wish you many blessings for the upcoming Thanksgiving Day feast. Love your families, all right? And share that love with everybody that is in your family and friends, and share the wealth.
That's what it's all about, right,
That's what it
Tommy?
is, that's right.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy Thanksgiving,
everyone.
much love.
Okay, everybody,
Many,
wave
many,
goodbye.
Many,
Lots of
many
love.
bright blessings.
Music, maestro.